Royal Blue runs deep in this town. 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Kansas Fan Headquarters, brings you Royals insider Jalen Thompson of the Kansas City Star every Friday morning on Sports Daily. The inside story on your Kansas City Royals. Fridays on KFH, Wichita's most listened to sports radio. Always live on the free Odyssey app and at kfhradio.com.
The KFH Studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
O'Reilly Auto Parts gets you back to savings. Pick up select Royal Purple fuel system additives. Buy one, get one free. Plus receive 4 times O Rewards points.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrecht. Stay right there for the latest breaking and sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. On Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street, watch for a backup to I-35 because of construction. Give yourself a few extra minutes there. And it's stop and go on Kellogg westbound between Andover Road and 143rd Street. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. Good morning. Mostly sunny, continued breezy and very hot. Southwest winds 15 to 25 and a high of 105. Mostly clear and uncomfortable. 80 degrees is our overnight low. Sunny, breezy, and continued hot on Wednesday, high 106. I know it's a broken record. More sun, more heat, more wind. Thursday's high 105. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
I love the app because it's so easy to use.
The app is fantastic. I can listen to my favorite shows, catch up on news, and discover new music all in one place.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I love that now on KFH. I can listen to the Dan Patrick Show. He's very good.
This is 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Wichita, K248CY Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrecht. Stay right there for the latest breaking and sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the books with the Westwood One Sports. In the Mile High City, don't expect Cortland Sutton's numbers to climb. With Jalen Waddle in town and Pat Bryant emerging, the vet could take a step back. Keep in mind, he ranked a ghastly number 85 in separation yards per target last year. Kimmy Sutton under 775.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Hashtag Team Webus. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Cowboys are opening the checkbook for everyone except George Pickens. The team made Quinnen Williams the second highest paid defensive tackle ever with a 3-year, $105.9 million extension. The Cowboys have done a really good job building up a defense that should be feared in the NFC. All they need is maybe a Max Crosby and they can contend with the Rams. We'll see. I'm Denton Day.
You love sports. We love sports. This isn't casual. This is commitment.
Sports Radio KFH.
Can I help you? Oh, I know you. I don't know your name, but I remember that hair. And I remember your white little face. Yeah. You are...
Wichita's most listened to sports radio. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
You men are mercenaries, hired hands.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome in. It is another Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman with you for the next 3 hours live. The new time slot, the new format for the show. Rocking and rolling right up onto the football season. A couple of more weeks of waiting and wondering about football, and we'll be there. And on the way there, we'll sweat it out. Summer reminding us it is still early August as we get ready to send kids back to school and all the fun things of this time of the year. But we're ready to have some fun with you and continue to prepare you for the football season. We will have Henry Greenstein in, our KU Insider, is going to join us a little bit later next hour. And we will discuss everything happening at KU camp. Lance Leipold spoke yesterday. So we will try to make sense of expectations for KU football this year. It's a difficult thing to do. We'll give it a shot. K-State football also opens camp today. Well, they don't open camp, I should say. Colin Klein speaks to the media for the first time today. Wyatt Thompson's going to join us tomorrow for an unscheduled visit. Of course, the voice of the Wildcats. He'll kind of get us up to speed on what's been happening up there in Manhattan behind the scenes a little bit. Looking forward to that conversation as well. It's also today the debut of the Sports Daily Poll. Brady is ready to go. We're working through the details. We've got the fancy production set up for it. That's going to be happening. We'll pull, what are we doing? 2 cards a day. 10. When did we say we were doing this? 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
set your alarms, everybody. Clearly there's a desire for this as I ran my mouth to try to pass it off and the listeners spoke. And we're going to do this now. It'll be a trip down memory lane, if nothing else. And who knows? Maybe Brady will pull $1 million worth of cards or something. I don't.
It's
really
like
know
Christmas
how this
morning, Jacob.
Yeah, I know you're excited. I can't believe you got this. We joked about this a month ago, and you're like, "Well, we could." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Absolutely not." Oh, that's okay. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Actually, we'll have that. We're going to take you to Chiefs camp in just a little bit. We'll let you listen to Andy Reid. That'll come through. Max is going to get that ready for us. We'll probably do that here in this first 8 o'clock hour. Take you to St. Joe. Eric Bieniemy returned to Chiefs camp yesterday. So we'll get you there as well. The Royals were out west last night. The bullpen blew it. Surprise, surprise. But they did not get the win. Did the bullpen blow it? Maybe that's not fair for last night's game. We'll discuss that a little bit just because they're playing the Dodgers and why not? But they had a lead and they were up and they had the 4-3 and yeah, the bullpen blew it. We'll blame the bullpen. It was just not Noah Cameron's most dominant start lately, but the bullpen did not come through for him either. So we'll get into that maybe a little bit throughout the show as well today. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. your summer spot. Pizza and apps, the whole group will love. Seasonal beers, full cocktail menu for the adults, and new dirty sodas and homemade root beer that keep the kids happy. WB, see you this summer at Wichita Brewing Company. You can call the show at 869-1240. Thanks for listening to us on KFH. You can email the show, sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected if you're streaming us on TV. Thank you for watching us on the socials, if that's how you take us in. Facebook, YouTube, X, you can leave comments there. And, of course, you can always leave us voice messages if you listen on the Odyssey app anytime. The show gets podcasted there for your convenience, whenever you'd like. But we appreciate you being here with us right now. Brady, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jacob. I mean, there's so much to look forward to on this show. The challenge on the Sports Daily poll is going to be, these are little 4-card packs. I'm going to have to be very disciplined in myself.
You cannot look at the other two cards.
Look at the other two. That's going to be tough.
We need the surprise. We will need video evidence of you opening it and only sliding 2 out and setting the others off to the side.
This is going to be, discipline-wise, this will probably be my toughest thing I've ever done from a discipline standpoint.
Well, just think of it
in my life.
for the budget, the massive budget that we're working with.
That's true.
Just think of it that way. We're trying to get there. Royals fans chiming in early this morning. Jesse says Q working his bullpen magic again. I concur, Jesse, except I'm not sure who he's supposed to throw out there. Tyler Tolbert, maybe. He's logged a few innings, I think, this year. Derek Parson says bullpen. Wait, we have a bullpen? We kind of don't. That's why they just signed Craig Kimbrell. I saw a funny. I got to give proper credit on this. I saw a funny tweet yesterday, and it was the Diamondbacks just released DFA'd Paul Sewald, who's pitched for a while and had a bunch of things, and somebody put the meme of dude in the yellow suit looking around the corner. I think it was Royals Review that had that 36-year-old reliever JJ Piccolo. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Maybe we can check on Randy Johnson. I don't know.
And they just took would have been nice to have Daniel Lynch in the game. Kidding. I think the Daniel Lynch decision is the right one. We got to get there. They don't have a bullpen. It's Brady. Listen. Maybe we do need to get into the Royals a little bit today because the bullpen is a part of the future. Now, I still think the fact that they went out and grabbed Craig Kimbrell would tell me they're willing to try things and maybe spend a little money, because I'm not quite sure what else you do in the offseason besides throw a little money at the bullpen to help. Maybe some of these arms that they're bringing, that they brought over for trade, maybe one of those two guys, one or two of those guys can help you. They really, really need Lucas Ursig to figure it out the rest of this season and be ready to go next year. That will be an interesting part of this, because you can squint your eyes. I think we're all excited about the lineup in the future. You can squint your eyes and get if Noah Cameron has really found it. Let's say Daniel Lynch becomes serviceable. You're probably going to have a rotation that can be competitive next year. But man, that bullpen's going to be bad. I don't know what they're going to have out there. So it is. I probably would stop leaning on John Schreiber in big moments, even though that's who they have the most confidence in. I mean, I guess that's who you have to go to. But I do want to see, just keep throwing guys out there. Who wants a call up? Who wants a call up to see if you can come be an effective big league reliever? What minor league starter who's sort of, just spinning the tires down there thinks they can reinvent themselves a la Daniel Lynch and be an effective reliever? Who's ready? We still got 2 months of baseball to play, Brady.
Yeah, at this point, why not?
Find one or two guys down there that can be helpful, and more importantly, open up the checkbook, John Sherman, because you're probably going to have to buy it.
At this point, like you said, there's only a couple months left. I mean, they're not in the wild card race or anything. What else is there to do?
I'd certainly stop throwing Alex Lang late in a game.
Right.
I probably would be done with that, that experiment. He has, let's just take a look here real quick. He has given up runs in 3 out of his last 4 appearances in 6 out of his last 9 appearances, he's given up runs, and sometimes a lot of them, he's just not very good in that spot. Alex Lang is not a bullpen piece of the future. John Schreiber's a free agent, won't be a bullpen piece of the future. Now, you have a lead against the Dodgers, right? So you're trying to win that game. I get it. I'm not going to cast too much shade on it, but I don't know what else they're supposed to do. But we appreciate those comments. Appreciate the energy here right off the top ropes. All right, it's Sports Daily. Let's come back. We'll kind of get caught up on a few things here. Maybe let's take you to Chiefs camp early. Max, I think, can get that turned around. We'll take you to Chiefs camp. EB's back. We'll chat about what we learned yesterday. Lots of fun coming up today on the show. It's Albrecht and Bowman. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be with you here on this Tuesday edition. We are rocking and rolling here, getting you ready to be there for the football season. I know it doesn't feel like football weather outside. Shout out to everybody working out in it, playing out in it. My kids had soccer practice last night. Just got to be a little extra careful. I know we start high school practices next week, where things maybe will be a little cooled off. It's hot out there. Do your best. Do what you can. Kids go back to school this week. You just kind of take a snapshot of things. You get training camp, and then you get kids back to school, and then you get practices, and we got KU and K-State camp starting. And we'll have games here in a couple weeks from Friday. We'll get preseason games for the Chiefs. They play Saturday. Look, I don't know how much to expect in the preseason. We're going to listen to Andy Reid here in just a second and see what he has to say about it. But I don't think it's going to be much, especially early. Maybe, how much Ken Walker and offensive line starters do we see in this thing? I don't know. It's a weird year. It's a weird year because Mahomes is rehabbing a knee, and they're trying to be careful. We know they're trying to be careful. They've told us they're trying to be careful. So Brady, this may look a little different this preseason than we're accustomed to.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like we talked about before, it's August 11th. It's still early training camp. They haven't had their first preseason game yet, but it's just we're so starved. Any little crumb that we can get our hands on, we'll just feel like a huge meal at this point. And getting into everything like you talked about, high school practices getting going, college, it's like we're on the roller coaster and we're just going tick, 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 up, 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 and we're almost at the top, almost there, ready to go all the way down, full speed ahead. It's kind of exciting. The anticipation.
It's almost, I'll be honest. As we've got the new format starting, and we're going 3 hours. I am so excited for this show and the new format when we get to football seasons.
Yes,
we're gonna have it will feel like we don't have enough time to get it all in there, and that's going to be awesome as we navigate this part of it. Okay, let's take you to Chiefs camp. Speaking of the preseason, we can get into this. Let's hear from Andy Reid. It is kind of the Monday before a game. Now, traditionally, we may get some insights on a day like this. Of course, the news, though, yesterday of the return of Eric Bieniemy had everybody thinking about other things. So we'll take you to St. Joe here and let you listen to Andy Reid's portion of the media availability. Max has that ready for us. Let's play it.
As the injuries go, Trey didn't practice, but improving. Jarius didn't practice, and Drew didn't practice. They're all improving as we go. Cyrus got some good work in today. Baza was back out there, did good. Delane did up through 7-on-7, did a nice job with that. Actually had the pads on. And then Rice took most of the practice. So with that, good work today. A lot of red zone work today. Short field, but again, things are a little faster in that area. And I thought the guys competed against each other, and it was good competition. Worked a lot of third downs in the red zone, which will help us down the road there too. Good to have EB back. So he's back in the fold, and I don't think he missed a step, man. He was out there getting after it. So that's a positive for the offensive side. With that, time's yours.
Did you expect it to have EB back as quickly as this? And what was it like having him back out there?
Yeah, listen, I talked to him several times a day, so I knew he was coming back if everything worked out the way it had been. So, the primary thing is that Mia's stable and in good hands, and that she's doing well. So that was the primary thing with it, and that's where we said with it. So.
Andy, with some receivers out over the past week or so, Jalen got some more run. Just wonder what you saw from that.
Yeah, he's getting better every day, playing faster every day, which is important. Got some nice catches today. So we just got to keep going. Got to stack the days, it's not what you did today. Now if you did well today, then you got to do well tomorrow. So you can't drop back off. That's a challenge.
You had mentioned that Trey was going to see a specialist. Do you think it's short term more so than anything?
Yes.
Short term.
With Trey being out, you've had Khalil Benson kicking to that right guard spot, Jalen working at right tackle. What are you wanting to learn, especially from Khalil at that right guard spot with that?
Yeah, I think it's good for him to be able to have some flexibility to do both. We worked him a little bit in there in OTAs, liked what we saw. So this gives him real competition in there now, where Spags is throwing a lot of different things at you, so you've got to be able to adjust. He'll do nothing but help him. Even at the tackle spot, it'll help him. So once he jumps back there.
Andy, with Patrick, you've spoken before about sort of appreciating every day with him because he won't be here forever. Is that something you practice yourself, especially knowing that this is 10th camp and coming through the injury? Is it something you're cognizant of?
I don't worry about it because he's going to be here a lot longer than I am. And you, Vahe.
And when you do think about what you appreciate about him, are there a couple, three things that come to mind, maybe most of all about who he is?
Yeah, no, listen, he's all in. That covers everything. He's all in every day, and I love that part of it.
Andy, how important is this preseason coming for, Jared Wiley, Greenstein, in terms of what they could maybe provide in terms of depth at that side?
Yeah, you're seeing the challenge there between the two of them. I mean, they're competing, and as that whole group is. I mean, Trey's right in the mix there too. So it's a good group of young guys, big, strong guys. And Bringingstill's whole thing was that could he stay on the field, and he's been doing that.
Andy, did you notice any type of boost with the offensive guys having you back out there today?
Yeah, it was great to have him back out there. Everybody was glad to see him. I think once you start going, then you're going. It's a little bit like a game. It's once you're in the game, you're in the game. But he always brings great energy.
Coach, you mentioned being all in. Travis is another one of those guys that doesn't take the, whatever you call vet day. He's out here every day. What's that mean for him to be out here?
Yeah, no, you gotta pull Travis as opposed. He'll stay out on every play, and so we have a rotation for him. And if he hears the next play and it's one he kind of likes, you gotta fight him to get him off. I love that part of him. That's and it's great for the young guys. That's the best part. He shares that energy with them, and he's not afraid to get on guys and challenge them, and then he walks his part of it. So
it's a little unusual to play a team in the preseason that you see in the regular season, and you guys do it twice this year. Is there a challenge in that, or good, bad, and different?
No, no, they're not going to play anybody, and we'll be very vanilla too. So it's that's kind of how it is. It's an opportunity to see your young guys play, and Seattle will probably do the same thing. I don't know how many guys they'll play. So, but it's all good work. I don't worry about all the other stuff. I mean, you're not really game planning for these things. You're just taking base plays and going and running them.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, good. Thank you.
Sorry, Brady. It is interesting to play. I think you heard it right there toward the end. They get teams that they're playing in the regular season. That didn't usually happen. I didn't. Now the anecdote. I'd wondered that, but whoever asked that question, I'm sure has done a little research on that. I'm not generally remembering, caring, or thinking about who teams have played in the preseason as the regular season rolls around, but they do get it a couple of times. The Rams don't play anybody ever. I feel like, right, with Stafford, they kind of just don't play anybody ever. Isn't that the McVay way, if I'm remembering correctly? And I think that's what Andy Reid was alluding to. They're not going to play anybody. So look, I don't think we'll see much this week. I'll be honest. You meant Trey Smith a little nicked up there. Working in offensive line depth in practice, probably not a bad thing. I don't think Trey Smith's nicked up. You heard Drew Tranquil's nicked up. We still don't know about Mansour Delane. Cyrus Allen had his scare. Xavier Worthy hasn't been able to make it back. Rashee Rice is trying to work back from the knee injury. Like there's a lot of the Chiefs have been very fortunate in this training camp so far that everything appears to be, and we'll see on Delane and Worthy. Those are the two I think we're watching.
He said that Delane was in pads, so that was good to hear.
He's in pads, but he's still in a non-contact jersey.
Sure.
So he's in that yellow jersey. So he's not all the way back, but it's almost like they're trying to force that. Like, he's okay, everybody, but we're still not going to let him do anything.
Right.
As we're watching videos, I don't know if you've seen them of Caleb Downs locking up CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens at Cowboys camp, and you see a guy like that, and you're just like, okay, Mansour Delane, you better be good. You better be good. And he just is. We'll see. We'll see. Man, but long story short, there, I just don't think we're going to see very much. Like, Andy Reid likes to play his guys in the preseason. They had a lot of injuries last year. They got a lot of guys working through some stuff here in the early part of camp. Maybe by the second or third game, we get a little bit. Because I think you can work some of the rookies that need to work on their own without everybody else in there, Like, can't you do that anyway? Like, Peter Woods doesn't need to be taking reps with the starters. He just maybe needs to take some reps. Cyrus Allen would be the one where you're like, well, yeah, you'd like him to work with Mahomes. You'd like to work him in the spot he might work in the season. But again, and we've asked this question about Cyrus Allen, what is a best case scenario for him? Third leading receiver on this team this year? Maybe it's Rice and Kelsey, and he surpasses Worthy.
I think he's in that top four. But
then there's Tyquan. Don't forget about Tyquan Thornton, man.
Yeah, that's true.
They made an effort to make sure he's there. He clearly became the best downfield threat last year. I think the downfield threat is more in play than it's been in a long time for the Chiefs because of what we hope will be an effective play action game where defenses can't just, deep balls for the Chiefs the last few years have been just see if their guy can go get it against two defenders sometimes.
Yeah, basically 500. You're just playing 500 in that situation.
I think the days of remembering Tyreek Hill running wide and free could be coming back. And a part of that, I get it, was a lot to do with Tyreek Hill, but a lot of it had to do with Kareem Hunt and an effective run game a little bit. But anyway, I don't want to overdo expectations for Cyrus Allen anyway at the beginning of the year. Like, if they can draw it up right now, he's not on the field a lot of the time. I wouldn't think. You're going to have Rashee Rice. You're going to have Xavier Worthy. If you've got a third receiver, maybe that's where it switches up between he and Tyquan Thornton. And how often are the Chiefs going to run a 3 wide receiver set? Are they going to get into the multiple tight end sets that are very popular right now in the NFL with their tight end depth that they now feel like they probably have a little bit of? But if you're gonna tell the opposition what you're gonna do, which is try to run it down their throat, which I feel they are, I just don't know how much run Cyrus Allen's gonna have early in the year anyway. So how much run does he need to get in the preseason? Like, of all these guys, like, I'd love to see Mansour Delane get some reps, but I don't know if he's going to. Peter Woods, like to see him get some reps. They've got a lot of small things, nothing major, but a lot of small things they're trying to work with. The major one, of course, is Patrick Mahomes' rehab, and that we've discussed at length. It sure doesn't sound like they're going to play him much at all, if at all, in the preseason. So, if you're into the seeing second string guys and how can the players that are probably providing depth at some point this year perform, Saturday's probably your day. Otherwise, don't have huge expectations. Like, we're not seeing Puka Nacua go up against Mansour Delane in this game.
No,
not happening.
No, especially this first preseason game. Another running back in the Chiefs stable that's been successful during this era that we keep forgetting to talk about is the Clydesdale. He was Clyde's Edwards-Helaire. He was a big part of the success early on too, and provided
they
that
drafted him to
option.
be. They drafted him to be. He was
He had a good first 2 years, but he trailed off.
I don't
quick.
even know if I'd call him good, but he was a part of things. Like,
he had some big plays. He was a weapon those first couple years, and he just kind of trailed off.
But he wasn't. Kenneth Walker gives this offense the thing it hasn't had since peak Kareem Hunt, in my opinion. Yeah. That's when we saw this offense be its best, by the way. Like, that ability to do those kinds of things is where. Now, are they going to get back to that? They don't have Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce's older. Mahomes is coming off of an ACL. I doubt it. I don't think we're going to see the 2019 Chiefs offense running out there every week. But they can certainly be better than they've been the last few years, which is not very good, quite frankly. When was the last time you felt great about the Chiefs offense?
Yeah, I think you go back probably 2019, 2020.
No, I mean, they
well, I mean, 2021 was
2020. Is it 22, the first of the second round of Super Bowls there?
That sounds right.
It would have been 22. Yeah, they scored 29 points a game in 2022. The last 3 years, they've scored 21, 22, and 21. So you go back to the 2019, 28 points a game. 2020 was 29. 21 was 28. 22 was 29. That's where we were seeing peak, high-flying Chiefs going ham offenses.
Peak Tyreek.
So the first, they had their Super Bowl, and then the off year, and then the first of the attempted three-peat was the last time, which was 22. The last time I remember their offense truly being like terrifying. Then in 23, it wasn't that good, but their defense was so good they won another Super Bowl. 24, we know what happened in that Super Bowl. They couldn't get the job done. And then last year was not good either. But they haven't, they've basically been a 21-point-a-game offense for the last 3 years. Can they get back to the others? We'll find out. And I think the other interesting thing is, they can be a more effective offense. Are they going to have the kind of volume and pace and everything else to get to 28, 29 points a game? Boy, I'm not sure. But are they going to have the kind of defense that makes it not necessary to reach some of those? That, Brady, we have no idea what this defense is going to look like. We spend a lot of time talking about the offense, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what that's going to look like. We really don't know about the defense.
Yeah, it's
kind of a hope and a prayer, isn't it? Kind of a hope and a prayer that the pass rush can provide a little more and Spags can work his magic in the secondary, because there's a lot of new faces in that secondary. But we don't know. What if they have a really bad defense? What if they can't run the ball because their defense sucks?
Well,
we're putting a lot of faith in just, like, there really is. Like, it's kind of just like, it's Spags. They'll be good. Right? Okay. Like, we got to see it. That's what I'd like to see in the preseason. But we don't get to see that. You don't get a lot of good out of the preseason in that way. We're going to have to wait till week 1 against the Broncos, by the way, who probably are going to have one of the league's top offenses this year. Oh, by the way, just added Jalen Waddle to one of the top offenses a year ago.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. With Sean Payton and Jalen Waddle? You don't think he knows how to use that guy?
I think he can figure some things out.
Hey, Delane, you get Waddle or Cortland Sutton in that first game action?
Enjoy.
It's going to be tough.
Be ready.
It's going to be tough. another reason why Patrick Mahomes is almost absolutely 100% playing is because it's the Broncos week 1. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. Always appreciate their support as they get ready to adjust things for kids going back to school, too. They'll continue their kids' camp. They got Kids Cave for date nights, the great food at the restaurant, the great events. Maybe you slide into the Scotch and cigar night and have the kids hang out at the Kids Cave. Or a sake and sushi night, which they had and I missed recently. Ready for my wife to get back. Is it get back on the wagon? Off? Which way does that go? I always get it confused.
There's a Seinfeld episode.
There's a great Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
It's brilliant because I feel like everybody has the same issue. But my very pregnant wife now. I can't wait to go to those sorts of things again with her. But they have all kinds of great events at Crestview for the family, plus, of course, the golf, the tennis, the pool, all the facilities. Check it out. Go take a tour. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Different membership options, too. All kinds of ways to get involved there. All right, Brady. We come back. Humor me for a minute. We'll preview the AFC North today. That's our divisional preview. Henry Greenstein coming up next hour to talk a little KU football from KU camp. An off day, but Lance Leipold talked yesterday. We'll have headlines I missed. We'll have Brady's first Sports Daily poll throughout the show today. Humor me here for a second. Cowboys signed Quinnen Williams yesterday. Given a huge 3-year, $101 million guaranteed extension. I don't know. It'll make him one of the highest paid defensive linemen. I loved the trade. Quinnen Williams is a stud. Chris Jones has taught us over the years what pressure up the middle can do. Aaron Donald, for all those years, has taught us what elite pressure up the middle can do. Quinnen Williams is a very good player. He resets that market, and the Cowboys have been trying to get it. And now what I'm curious about is what this does to their salary cap situation. Jerry Jones has said they want to perhaps even be more aggressive this year. But remember, they traded for him last year. They traded away Micah Parsons, who's still hurt. They draft Caleb Downs. They draft Big 12 fans might remember Malachi Lawrence out of UCF. They signed a couple of free agents. They've added pass rush. They've added other guys. They allowed 30 points per game last year. Last in the NFL in points per game allowed. Last in the NFL in passing yards allowed. Second to last or third to last, I suppose, in total yards allowed. Last on third downs. Almost last in takeaways. They were flat awful defensively. They go in and they get Quinnen Williams. I think they're probably done. I don't know. Vita Vea is out there. I don't know if he's an option for them or what they have out there. I say Vita Vea is out there. He's not really out there, but he might be. And they already have 2 good defensive tackles. But I just try to think about what Jerry Jones might do. He's actually, though, after saying it every offseason, been aggressive in what the Cowboys have done for once.
All in.
George Pickens, not a problem. He's happy. That was the big question on the other side of the ball. Will he play on the tag? Sounds like he's fine to do it. Brady, I'm having a hard time. Because I'm typically very brutally honest in assessing the Cowboys, the team I grew up loving, the team I still have an affinity for. I'm usually pretty realistic with them, and it's like, not good enough. Not going to happen. After watching the offense last year with the additions of Javonte Williams and George Pickens, and the way they've tried to quickly rebuild this, they bring in one of the big names everybody loves in their new defensive coordinator. I'm having a hard time not. We picked that division and I took them to win it, right? Brady, am I crazy? Like, I kind of like the Cowboys as a real serious Super Bowl contender this year.
Crazy loves company, because if I remember right, I was with you with the Cowboys winning the division as well. So
winning the division, though, and winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl
absolutely.
are very different things in the NFC. And the NFC is open, but in order to do that, I would have to, you got to think of them against the Rams and the Seahawks, of course. You got to think of them against, whatever team comes out of the North.
I'm looking at their schedule now, and yeah, there's some tough games there. They got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 5 at Houston. That's going to be a tough one. At Green Bay, that's always Cowboys and Packers. Always a great game, no matter what. They got the 49ers, of course. The NFC East is always it's like we talked about. It's going to be tough. At Seattle later this year in December. At LA Rams right after that. And then they end the season at Washington. So it's not going to be a cakewalk by any means. But again, every year we go through this with the Cowboys, especially Cowboys fans, Cowboys media, Jerry Jones, we're all sold that, hey, believe in this team. This is the year. We're all in this year. This year, I actually think that maybe it actually is. Because you look at the roster, you look at the improvements, you look at how great they were offensively last year. Well, like what I said the other day, if they can just elevate the defense, even just middle of the pack, that'd be a huge difference.
It's crazy. The offensive line, I would say you could probably still call a question of sorts, but they've spent a lot of resources there. How old, just off your hip shot here, hip shot question, no peeking. How old do you think Dak Prescott is?
32?
33. See, I think of him as an older player than that.
Right.
Dak Prescott threw for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions last year. He was fantastic.
He was great. There were points where you're like, that's maybe the MVP.
Yes.
I mean, he was.
And I don't know. There is a lot of history there of him coming up small in big moments. Trust me, I know that. My problem, though, is always like with the Dak extension and everything, that has been such a hotly debated topic across the NFL because it's the Cowboys. And it's like, we've seen it from Dak where he is one of those dudes at quarterback. But we've also seen him come up so short at times that you're like, but is he? But we just watched Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott has been a much better quarterback than Sam Darnold thus far in their careers, if you took the entire body of work. No offense to Sam Darnold, who's had a wonderful resurgence in his career. It for me, and I said, I always try to be very brutally honest with the Cowboys. It's not that it's been a Dak problem. It has certainly in moments, but I've never felt like they were good enough, even in those moments where they're going to go win a Super. Maybe a couple of times they've had teams where I'm like, oh, maybe this is it, and then he's come up small. So I get it. Man, he was really good last year, and they can run the ball now, which he's always better when that team can run the ball. Always better when he can run the ball. Plus, he has those receivers. Man, I really think they have a chance to be one of those teams this year where we're looking at week 12 and you're like, man, I can't believe how good the Cowboys are. It really, if this Christian Parker, the DC they brought in from Philadelphia, really young dude, he's the same age as Dak basically, comes over. He ran kind of the defensive backs in Philadelphia, but people were very excited about him. Man, they got a chance. Watch some of the videos of Caleb Downs in practice and try not to get fired up. I said during the draft, before the draft, if the Chiefs end up with Caleb Downs, he might be the best player in college football and maybe has been for a little while. That dude's a stud. He just plays safety and they get undervalued. I'm not sure why they get undervalued. When we think about some of the great game-wrecking defensive players across the league over the years, a lot of them are safeties.
Yeah, was it Ed Reed a safety?
Ed Reed was a safety. Troy Polamalu was a safety for the Chiefs.
Did Roger Craig play
Berry
safety?
Was the safety before his situation.
Yeah.
The Honey Badger made a huge impact on the Chiefs defense.
Yes.
The Chiefs have been running great safeties. Big question this year. They've been running great safeties out there for a while. So I'm having a hard time because I want to do it. Now, we're not picking Super Bowl yet. We're not yet. Man, I'm getting to the point, though, Whereas we're running through these divisions and we're seeing this stuff out of camp, like there is absolutely a chance I put the Cowboys in the Super Bowl this year. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I go back and listen to this show. Like usually this time of year, I'm like, yeah, they got no shot, no chance. Absolutely no chance. And when they went on the Micah Parsons thing, I loved that move because at the time it was like they are not good enough to win a Super Bowl right now. And this was, of course, 2 years ago. They're not good enough to win a Super Bowl. They won't be, but they might have 1 year in the window where they can. And it would be next year if they can get a haul for Parsons and if they can get it all right. Well, Caleb Downs, great player. Malachi Lawrence, we'll see. They used some of the assets to add Quinnen Williams. They already had a good defensive tackle they brought back in the trade. Their defensive line might be pretty good. We'll see on the corners. That'd be their weak spot. We'll see what they can do there. But it's right there. I think they're a contender. Absolutely.
Plus Brian Schottenheimer, I thought he impressed last year. He was a big
unknown
he was
last
fine.
Year. And I liked his energy. I liked his attitude. I liked all of that stuff. They didn't win enough games, so it's hard to say. But it's hard to win a lot of games when you have a defense that comically bad. And their defense was that comically bad last year. I mean, it was so bad last year. And, I'm with you. I think middle of the pack. And again, we see defenses do this all the time. We see defenses go from bottom to sometimes to top. So, like, is there and look across the league now. Everybody's hiring defensive coordinators as head coaches. That's the new trend. That's the new cute thing to do. McDonald did it in Seattle. Look at their defense right when he stepped in the door.
Exhibit A.
So it's the trend right now anyway. Why not them?
Yep, Mike Vrabel with the Patriots. He was a defensive guy.
With the Patriots.
Yeah.
But you talk about adding Quinnen Williams and Caleb Downs to any defense. I feel like you're going to have a pretty good shot. That's strength up the middle right there. We'll see. I saw that move yesterday, and I've been trying to hold myself back from it because I don't want people to roll their eyes at it. So I'm glad to hear you share a brain on it because I think they're in the mix. I think they're in that conversation, in a wide-ranging conversation this year, by the way. I still don't know who I'm going to put in. I'm probably not putting the Rams in just to be contrarian because they keep doing all this stuff. Even if they add Aaron Donald, I'm probably not doing that.
They add Aaron Donald, though.
They're going to be hard to keep out. It's just there's a lot there. When you're leaning into several older players and putting all your eggs in that basket, that gets a little trickier for me. But man, they've created some. Goodness gracious. Does anybody even remember all the additions they've made this offseason? Hey, Trent McDuffie. Remember the Chief? It's been one of the best corners in the league for a long time. He's a Ram now. Oh, so is Myles Garrett. Some of these things they've done, I just kind of forgot about. Oh, yeah, that's right. They've got a Pro Bowl roster, and they're about to add Aaron Donald to it. Huh. Yeah, they'll be hard to keep out. I may have to just do it and grit my teeth. But man, I think the Cowboys might be in there. All right, we'll come back. Headlines I missed. Henry Greenstein this hour. We've got to preview the AFC North. We've got our first Sports Daily poll. A lot of fun on Sports Daily on a Tuesday. Stick around.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Speaking of heroes, here's mine.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Wow, that's something.
That sure is something, isn't it? It's just something. Being here with each and every one of you, 3 hours every day now on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman here. We are going into hour number 2. Headlines I missed in just a second. Want to tell you, though, that you can get in touch with the show lots of different ways. You can call us at 869-1240. You can email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. You can find us on the social channels, Facebook, YouTube, and X, the stream available for you there to comment on. Thanks also for watching us on 12 News Connected on your streaming CTV devices. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. Even if it's in the future, we appreciate it. And you can always leave us a voice message there. Glad to have you with us on all the different varieties of ways that you bring us in to your day. We appreciate it. Everything we're talking about here, we'll have Henry Greenstein later this hour. We've got headlines I missed. We've got Brady's very first Sports Daily poll as well. Trading cards. The listeners have spoken. We'll have that for you. We will also we'll also get you an AFC North divisional preview here, Sports Daily style. So look forward to all of it. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring brand new summer cocktail menu. Set sail with a salty doggy or bearded clam, or escape with a Waikiki wake up or string bikini Bellini. WBC summer cocktails, because summer sips better at Wichita Brewing Company. Max Power producing for us. All right, Brady, take it away.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, Jacob, here we go. Golfer resigns from club after admitting to fake hole-in-one. An amateur golfer has resigned from his membership at a St. Louis area club after admitting to a now viral cheating scandal in which he faked making a hole-in-one. This is a former college golfer, Zach Holland, a 2 handicap.
Why? Now, hang on. Why would you do that at a club?
It was at a membership event at the Wing Haven Country Club. Maybe our colleague Bob Wilson knows where this is at.
For members?
I guess so. He lied about acing the hole during the tournament and offered the ball as proof of a hole-in-one to his playing partners. Holland said Friday during an interview with the Morning After Show on ESPN St. Louis, quote, "You do something as dumb as I did, there are consequences for that," end quote.
Yeah. So the rule on that is, as I've learned in the different places that I've been fortunate enough to play golf in later in life, and have learned the rule now at places like Crestview Country Club, great supporter of the program. If you get a hole-in-one, you got to pick up the bar tab. People don't pick up your bar tab. You get a hole-in-one, you pick up the bar tab. Some places for the entire bar. I think some places are just for your group.
That's a good rule, though.
That's the rule. Them's the rules. So, like, you're playing in a nice place and you hole-in-one. That's great. Everybody wants to do it. Just know you got to pick up that bar tab when the day is done. And you know how people treat an open tab. We all know how that goes.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, faking a hole-in-one, all right. Well, so now I hope that he still, before he got caught, he had to, do that also. It's like double the punishment. And I had to pick up that bar tab for nothing. Could you imagine faking that?
No. Why would you want to do that?
Especially if you're good. Like, if you're already good, like you're a 2 handicap. Chances are you've probably had a hole-in-one at some point in your life.
Wait, me?
No.
Oh, I was good.
Generally.
I've been very close, but
hypothetically, I think I've been within like 10 inches was the closest I've been.
Yeah, that's about, I think I was only like a couple balls away. Oof. I mean, it was that close, but great. But it was also on a mulligan.
10 inches and a couple balls. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a member tournament. There was a hole-in-one prize pot as well. Now, there was security footage reviewed on this. Let's see. It said Holland said he completed the first 3 holes with this group before telling his playing partners that he needed to take a personal phone call, allegedly regarding his mortally ill grandmother.
Oh, no.
While they played the 4th hole. In order to keep up with the pace of play, Holland told the group that he would tee off on number 4 ahead of them. Later on the green, when he reunited with the group, Holland said he told his partners he thinned his tee shot, but did not see where the ball ended up. The group then bound the ball in the cup, assumed Holland made a hole-in-one, and celebrated before contacting the superintendent. According to Holland, however, security footage reviewed by staff showed him driving near the 4th green well before his scheduled tee time, and ultimately admitted to club officials that he faked the hole-in-one, resigned his membership. Even used my grandmother's ill excuse.
That's worse.
Oh.
That's what I hate that excuse, by the way.
Onion story.
Like, well, just like whenever people use it like for work or school, I'm like, man, you can't put that energy out in the universe.
No. Not at all.
That's awful.
Yeah.
He deserves worse than a suspended membership. I don't know.
That's
Hopefully
pretty
he
bad.
had to pick up a bar tab. That's
pretty bad,
man. And then he went on a local radio show to talk about it.
And here we are talking about it. So
you never you're a 2 handicap. No, you're not. Not anymore. You're not, because nobody's ever going to believe a word you say. Goodness.
And then this kind of an odd story. Actually, there's a couple good headlines here. A pet goose hailed as a hero for alerting a sleeping family to a barn fire. That's a good goose.
All right.
Right there. Nice goose.
Well, apparently they are good for something.
Yeah. So I get a feeling you're like me, Jacob, with like geese and ducks. I kind of keep my distance when I'm at a park and they're nearby.
Hang on. Don't bring any duck slander to a goose conversation. I love ducks. Like, if there wasn't the situation where you have to put them in a diaper, I would 100% have a pet duck.
They are more chill than geese.
They're like dogs. If you get them when they're babies and they, what is it called? Attached to you or whatever. They're some of the coolest pets. I grew up on out in the country. We ran cattle. That's how I grew up. And so we had all kinds of animals. And every year when I was a kid, my mom would go to the flea market and some guy in the back of his truck would sell, you didn't know if they were ducks or geese. They all look the same when they're that little, right? Just either ducklings or gooselings. What's a baby goose called? Whatever. So they're all tiny little cheep, 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 cheep. And you'd buy them. I don't know what he'd charge. It was always around Easter for $1 or something. And we'd bring them back out to the house. We had all kinds of birds. My mom had peacocks and guineas, and birds were her thing. And so we get these ducks and geese. And then you'd learn which ones were ducks and which ones were geese. They were hard to tell apart. And the geese were mean as hell. Our dogs wouldn't even mess with the geese.
Yeah.
I learned very quickly where the term getting goosed comes from. They put their head on the ground and sneak up behind you, and they get up in there. It's not okay. Yeah. It's not cool. And you can't hurt them. They're invincible. I've watched them just take a pound and they just get right back up and do their stupid little neck thing. I don't like geese. Don't trust them. Don't like them.
Same.
Ducks, on the other hand, were as good as a dog as far as loyalty. They wanted to cuddle. They would talk to you. They were the coolest. Ducks, don't bring ducks into a goose conversation.
Well, my apologies to all the ducks out there. Baby goose is a gosling, by the way.
Gosling, there you go.
Yeah. There you go. And baby duck, obviously a duckling.
Well, listen, apparently they're good for something because they alerted the family to a fire.
Yeah. This was the exception to the rule as far as geese are concerned. One more headline here.
Probably
Jacob.
did it because they laid a few landmines right outside the front door and laughed as everybody ran outside and stepped right in it.
Terrible prank. With the Sports Daily poll, the debut coming up here in just a little bit. Also kind of a collecting story. Previously unknown Mario Brothers game variant.
I did see
found
this
at a Wisconsin store. Oh, you saw this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good story, though.
They found some cartridges and they got them graded because you can grade everything now. You grade video game cartridges and boxes and all that. They were all perfect 10s. And apparently on closer examination, they were found to be variant cartridges. The guy that found them told the local TV there in Wisconsin, quote, the back sticker on the cartridge is different. The screws are different. The manual is different. Even the motherboard for the game is different. So this is one of the most documented games in history of video game preservation, and nobody has seen these specific cartridges before. This was for the original Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt combo, which I played like crazy back in the day. Loved Duck Hunt.
We all did. Everybody our age did. Again, I wonder about this. Is a cool story because those exist, but they think it's going to get sold for millions.
Oh, yeah.
I hear that stuff and I'm like, who has millions to buy this stuff?
Apparently a lot of people. Don't act like there's not people with money out there.
But no, that's what I mean. But who's sitting around being like, you know what? I want to put that on a shelf and look at it. It's worth $1 million.
That's somebody with a lot of extra money.
I feel like I could find more fun ways to use $1 million than that. It's just me.
Well, I just think it's just
a market. I can't believe there's a market for this stuff. The trading cards are a little bit more interesting because you're trying to I get that more to the degree of you could buy something now that's worth more later and then resell it, and you're trying to build up value and assets and all that. Do you really think if you spent $1 million on that Nintendo cartridge now, it's worth more than $1 million in 30 years?
Again, that just shows how much whoever that person is, that's how much just extra money they don't know what to do with.
It's just crazy to me.
And with cards, they're meant to be looked at. So, like, the display, it makes more sense. With the video game cartridge, they were built to be played. So it's kind of, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Just
that's a good one, though. I did see, we just happened to have that in our 4 o'clock newscast yesterday. It's a good story, though. It's a good story. I think that's good. That game, nostalgic. They were apparently trying to melt it down for gold and then forgot what kind of gold. Must be on, like, the motherboard or something. All right, we'll come back. Henry Greenstein should be with us next on Sports Daily. We'll check in from Lawrence.
Want the ultimate inside?
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All day. 869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
That insider is Henry Greenstein in, and we are glad to have Henry on the Sports Daily rotation, a part of the team here as we make our way into another KU season. You can find Henry's work at the Lawrence Journal World at kusports.com. You can reach him at Henry Greenstein on X. You can find right now the latest article up regarding the linebackers at KU. We'll get to that in just a minute, Henry. I guess as we've introduced you as our KU insider now, we should learn a little about that. Tell the people, how long you've been on the beat?
All right, let's think about this. So 3 years and 3 months at this point. I think that my first day was like May 20-something, 2023. So I've gotten to see the worst 3-year stretch of basketball in the Bill Self era. And then I got to see the best post-Mangino KU football season, followed by a couple of disappointing ones. Historic runs by the baseball and soccer teams, and lots of coaching changes in other sports. So, and of course, that all against the backdrop of college athletics being hit by one seismic change after another. So there's been a lot to write about. But yeah, I came here from Bakersfield, California, a little over 3 years ago.
That's where I was
Brady,
born.
What'd you say?
I was born in Bakersfield.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You know
about
that. Yeah, so I covered CSUB and Bakersfield College for a couple years out of grad school. But yeah, it's been a pleasure being here, and it's always interesting. There's always something new going on. And I'm also the sports editor at the paper, so I oversee our high school stuff and get freelancers and things like that.
Well, the high school stuff up from where you are, that's like we're enemies a little bit.
A little.
The whole East-West rivalry. You know, we'll get you and TJ in, and you can talk high school football trash later in the season. But that's great. We love it. It has been an interesting time, and it has been. We'll get to basketball in a minute and the court happenings and the latest and any rumblings from inside the programs. But it is football camp. You guys get a day off. We joke all the time, and you told us last week, KU, outside of quarterback, might be a little better kind of across the board of that position. What would be, I was talking about this yesterday, just water cooler talking. Like, what would be the thing that is enough of a positive surprise? You were there for the first year, right? Post Mangino, where everybody got fired up. How many wins did KU have that year? 6?
They finished 9-4. They could have been better.
Is it going to take 9 wins to get people that fired up again? Because I feel like 6 isn't going to do it. Like, oh, cool, they made a bowl game. Like, I don't think that's got people ready and revved up and fired up the same way they were 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think it's probably fair to say if they get a 6-win season this year, people would be like, oh, that's nice. They're back on the right track. Then next year, there would be some expectation that they get 8 wins, kind of following the trajectory of 2022 to 2023. So I agree with you, but I also think, next year is going to be the one where the stadium is fully finished. Now, granted, they'll still be working on the rest of the surrounding district, but they're going to really want to build up as much fan enthusiasm as possible for 2027. So in kind of a meta sense, or a macroeconomic sense, this is a really significant year for KU in terms of building enthusiasm for the football program.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think 6 wins, because basically what the situation you talked about is what kind of hope to play out the last 2 or 3 years, where it was like, okay, we broke through, we're a contender now. I mean, I remember the talk of like, let's set the sights at a Big 12 championship after finally breaking through with some bowl games. Then there was that disappointment. So yeah, I don't think KU fans want to go through that again. But Henry, it's it's August 11th. We're getting closer and closer to the start of college football season. How much closer are we to knowing who's going to be behind center for the Jayhawks?
I don't think that there's been any visible progress in terms of like, this person suddenly getting all the first team reps. We're not able to see a huge amount of practice. We usually get about 20 to 25 minutes. But in what we have seen, it's been very evenly split. We also don't really get to see any kind of 11 on 11 or even anything remotely resembling it. So we may not be getting the fairest picture. But yeah, we talked to Lance Leipold yesterday. He didn't really have an update on how the competition is progressing. They talk like they have 2 guys they'd be comfortable with playing in games. Time will tell whether that's actually the case. I think I may have mentioned this last week, but there's a little bit of a contradiction between what Leipold has said regarding not wanting to do a 2-quarterback system and what he said regarding, hey guys, just be warned, we're going to pick a starter, but both these guys are still going to play in games. So he has to kind of find a balance, I think, because he said, I don't want a 2-quarterback system because you have to let a guy find a rhythm. But he's also said they're going to use both quarterbacks. So I'm kind of envisioning something where one guy gets like 55 snaps and the other gets 10. But I feel like if Isaiah Marshall ends up being the starter, then he's probably a good enough passer to be a starting quarterback. So why do you need to give Cole Ballard 10 snaps? Whereas if Cole Ballard is the starter, you're probably getting more of a different element from Isaiah Marshall in spot.
Yeah.
What's worth, Marshall said on Saturday, the coaches have not talked to them about what their role would look like if they are the number 2 quarterback. So it's kind of a weird situation, but headline, no decision yet on the starting quarterback.
Well, can they run the same offense with both guys?
I think they can. I think that there'd be more designed runs if it's Marshall. I think Ballard's not a bad runner. Like, he's physical, he's big, and he takes contact. He's just not as fast. And, last year Isaiah Marshall averaged 10 yards per carry on designed runs. And that was pretty important last year because they were, I don't want to say afraid, but they were reluctant to run the option as much as they had earlier in Jalen Daniels' time as starting quarterback. So they needed some kind of way to get a QB run threat. But I think they can run at least something resembling the same offense, maybe with some play calls tailored here and there toward the skill sets of each player. And, we heard from Zabrowski the other day, and he basically said what Ballard needs to work on most is being less rigid in his mechanics. He needs to be more fluid. And what Marshall needs to work on most is functional intelligence and commanding the huddle better and getting people lined up and things
that's
like
not
that.
I don't think that's reassuring.
It's not a phrasing that exactly sparks a lot of excitement when you hear that.
That's not something you want to have anybody say about you. Be like,
my wife says that
Brady's
about
a great Brady's a great guy, but needs to work on his functional intelligence. That's not what I'd ever want to hear, ever.
Yeah.
Henry, we talked a lot about even go back to last year with K-State and the Dublin game and that trip and, getting ready for that. And obviously it didn't go the way the Wildcats wanted it to. And, a lot of people kind of look at that as like just right away the wheels fell off right out of the gate. How's KU approaching the Union Jack Classic in London? That'll be September 19th against Arizona State. What's the approach there? Do you think there's anything the program has taken from K-State's experience last year? Or I don't know if they even talked to each other for like, hey, how did you guys deal with that? How did you guys prepare for that? What are you gathering as far as the prep for the Jayhawks going across the pond?
Well, I'm almost certain they did talk to K-State because Leipold and Kleiman were very close. So I'm sure they did. Now, this is a little different because for God knows what reason, although I've been given official explanations as to why, for God knows what reason, this is in week 3 instead of week 0. And the reason I was given on that front, well, been given a couple, but it has to do with the soccer calendar, and it has to do with the fact that the population of London is less touristy. This is what Travis Goff said. The population of London is less touristy in September, and they want to attract more locals. That was something of course, if you look it up online, Wembley Stadium is also hosting an AEW event during week 0 that they announced 2 years ago. To me, that seems like the real reason. In any case, it's in this random week. It doesn't get its own time slot in the way that NFL London games do, but it does get big noon, which was a good get on their part because it'll still get a lot of publicity, even though it's happening midway through the season. As for the logistics, it's going to be different for KU as opposed to ASU. KU, I believe, is flying over there Wednesday, so they get in on Thursday. I might be one day late on that. Regardless, they're going a couple days beforehand, whereas ASU, they play in College Station the previous weekend. So instead of going back across time zones, I believe they're going straight to London from like Houston after they finish playing against A&M. So they will have been there longer. We'll see if that ends up being an advantage and whose method is superior. But KU is going to get a couple days to settle in regardless before they have to actually play. Obviously, this can wreak all sorts of havoc on your circadian rhythms, the 6-hour time change and whatnot. I think it's going to be a really fun game. I think these teams, ASU's maybe got some flashy talent. They've got 2 really good receiver transfers. Transfer quarterback from Kentucky is probably going to end up winning out as the starter. Some good returning talent on defense. They got a KU transfer safety and Lyric Rawls at the back end of that defense. I think it'll be a good game, but I do think I may have said this last week, but it'll ultimately be seen as kind of like whatever follows for the rest of the season will be seen as a consequence of what happens in the Union Jack Classic.
Clerical note before we talk about what you wrote about yesterday or this morning.
Yeah.
Is this a conference game, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, let's talk about what you dug into a little bit. I see a couple stories out now, and it's the linebackers. We're going to focus on because it's the only thing we know how to focus on besides maybe Dylan Edwards, the quarterbacks. But there are other things happening, notably, and you can find this right now at the Lawrence Journal World, KUSports.com. The linebackers. Is that a position of strength potentially for this team?
I mean, it's a position of depth, if anything else. Yeah, I wrote about Malachi Curvey yesterday. I wrote about Bam Crouch this morning. Those are both up now. Essentially, last year, KU had a pretty good top line in terms of linebackers with Trey Lathan and Bengali Kamara. And I think Lathan was probably a lot better than they expected. But the problem was beyond that, they were really, really shallow. They had John Kamara, who was a very highly thought of prospect, but he was not assignment disciplined all season and really struggled at times. And then at middle linebacker, they thought they were also going to have Joe Sipp, a transfer from Bowling Green, but he got hurt and was really not a factor for the entire year and transferred to Florida Atlantic. Logan Brantley wasn't great either. And, there was a time where Bengali Kamara was hurt. There was a time where there was a targeting ejection. They just did not have a full complement of linebackers. Even with one of their transfers for this year having been ruled ineligible, they still seem deeper. Quincy Davis, he was not even a starter at New Mexico State last year, but they clearly liked his film. He's been one of the biggest recipients of praise this offseason. And while he can play at either, KU's going to run mostly a 4-2-5 this year. While he can play either at middle linebacker or weak side linebacker, it seems like his primary responsibility is going to be spelling Trey Lathan at middle linebacker and making his job a little bit easier. On the weak side, they brought in Bam Crouch from Boston College, who was a starter in 2024. He was a team captain and a starter in 2025, but got hurt, so ended up redshirting. So this is his 5th year. He has a lot of experience. Those BC teams were not very good, but Crouch was a key part of their defense, and he should slot in. Chris Simpson, the linebackers coach, has said he's the most consistent at that position right now. But they have other options. They also have Jabril Al-Amin, who's really interesting. He comes from Marshall, and before that he was at Jacksonville State. He's been playing at 200 pounds the last few years. So they kind of saw him and thought, we can put 20 pounds on this guy. He's incredibly athletic and make him a functional linebacker. I don't, it'll be interesting to see exactly how they use him because he can play that will spot as well. But it sounds like they also want to use him as what they call the hawk, as a third linebacker when they go into occasional 3 linebacker sets. So that's something to watch. And then Curvey, Lance Leipold singled him out for unsolicited praise yesterday, which is usually a good sign. He's probably going to be a rotational guy. He's a redshirt freshman from Waukee, Iowa. He played defensive end in high school, and he looks like a defensive end. He's 6'4", 245, but he's also highly athletic and has shown flashes there. And, last year he only got really to play on special teams, and in the spring he was coming back from shoulder surgery, but they seem to think he's a viable option too. So it certainly appears, any injuries pending, that they will be a better rounded group at linebacker than they were last year. And that's important, especially because the secondary is a bit of a concern and will likely continue to be for much of the season.
Yeah, Henry, glad you broke that down in that piece, because I feel like that's something that's kind of been lost in the offseason discussion when we're talking about KU. It's all about, no more Jalen Daniels and who the quarterback's going to be. But I think we kind of forgot, like, that defense was a big problem for the Jayhawks last year. Looking at the stats for last year, I mean, they weren't the worst defense, but the run defense is pretty bad. But, in all categories, they're kind of definitely in that lower 25% in college football last year. And K-State also not that far off. They were pretty rough defensively. How much has that felt like a lost talking point? I mean, we just hit on it, but it seems like we focused a lot on the quarterbacks, but defense was a big part of the issue last year, because there were times where, especially in the red zone, people were just cutting right through.
Yeah, it all kind of started with that Cincinnati game where they were just getting absolutely shredded by Sorsby, and then got what should have been the game-winning touchdown. I think ESPN gave them an 89.8% win probability, and then they immediately allowed a game-winning touchdown drive, including like a one-handed catch on 4th and 10 that allowed that drive to serve. And from then, it was just kind of spiraled a little bit. They had maybe one good defensive half. Well, that's not entirely fair. They had one good defensive half against UCF, and they had 3 good defensive quarters against Arizona the rest of the season. And other than that, it wasn't great from a defensive perspective. It was DK McDonald's first year as the coordinator. They were trying to shift to a more multiple front with players who had been recruited to play to a 4-man front. In some cases, it worked and caught opponents by surprise, and in a lot of cases, it really didn't. The hope is that with the personnel they've recruited, kind of understanding what they're coming into, and with a second year of comfort for returning players, like the starting cornerbacks last year were a true sophomore and a redshirt freshman. You'd like to think that now, as a junior and a redshirt sophomore, they'll be better situated. Now, granted, that redshirt sophomore, Austin Alexander, has apparently not been fully healthy for 6 months. He missed the spring due to an offseason surgery, and then apparently had another injury that has him limited now. And so suddenly one outside corner spot is kind of shaky, with the options being Roman Pearson, a transfer from Ball State who's been a little inconsistent, and Saeed Gibbs, who, we saw last year was pretty good at nickel, but when they moved him outside, he had some glaring issues. So you probably don't want to start him at outside corner if you can help it. So anyway, I got a little bit distracted from a main point I was trying to make there, but there's reason for hope on the defensive line. I think Leroy Harris will have a breakout year at defensive end, and I think the rest of the defensive ends are strong. Defensive tackles looking a little weird. Trayvon McAlpine's out for the season. He was one of the biggest name transfer acquisitions they got, but Blake Harold should be really good. All that is to say, there's reason for optimism on the defense, but you kind of have to see them go out there and prove it.
We'll talk Dylan Edwards next week. Henry, enjoy the day off from camp. We will chat again next week. Lawrence Journal World, KUSports.com. Go follow Henry on X. Nice job, man. We appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks.
There goes our KU insider, Henry Greenstein. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily right on the other side.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. you'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman, here in, well, we're here in Life and Spirit. Sorry, the video stream's giving me a new thing that I haven't seen before.
That kid is a corded telephone.
It is it. There we go. Now we got it. All right.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Henry Greenstein. If you missed anything, if you jumped in late, you can always go back and listen to that on the Odyssey app. We are coming to you and rocking and rolling here on a Tuesday, about halfway through the show. Brady's first Sports Daily pull is coming in the next segment, the top of the next hour. I think this could be fun. This could be fun, or it could be a complete disaster. And I hope everybody out there is happy.
No pressure.
Brady is working with a great listener to build up a pile of cards.
Yes.
Early on. Those conversations going well, Brady?
Oh yeah, I mean we're in the middle of it, so still figuring all that out. But I got these couple booster packs the other day just to hold over,
just to get us held over. Well, we appreciate that, and we will certainly shout them out if and when everything comes together on that. But look, we're having fun with it. We'll do that in just a little bit. All right, here's a story, Brady, that came last night. Now, we know, and we talked about yesterday at the end of the show, the Protect College Sports Act is on hold until September. We're both a little pessimistic at what could happen to it between now and then, once everybody sort of has more time to get their hands on it, put their thoughts into it a little bit. The other big thing we're watching right now is the court ruling out of Colorado. And it seems to be impacting college hoops, maybe a little more than college football, but granting that 5th year of eligibility that's now the rule to the class of 22. There's a lot here, and I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to sort through. So a few different things are happening with it. One, the ruling is just that those class of 22 athletes can play, right? Which means that, we're doing 5 years of eligibility. In 5 years, you get as many as you can, all that kind of thing. So this grants basically that somebody's going to get screwed on that deal. It just so because they have to start the timer at some point, right? Well, they started it in the 22 class. It was like, hey, why aren't we still eligible then? Because for the guys that had only played 4 years, right? Not so much the guys who had sat out a year and bids, but the guys who truly were in the class of 22 that played 4 years and have the 5th year, they think they ought to be eligible. Court in Colorado agrees. There's multiple lawsuits happening. The one in Colorado went first. The NCAA last night, Brady, was denied an emergency motion for administrative stay, basically to challenge this ruling by the Colorado court. So that's a win for the athletes going for that 5th year. Monday night, this happened yesterday evening. The injunction remains in place. Now the NCAA, according to, I'm looking at Yahoo right now, has a roadblock in its fight to overturn this ruling. They still have an appeal pending. So I don't know if you're as up to speed in the judicial happenings and everything as you are with parliamentary procedure, but the NCAA got, that's one for the athletes here to be eligible. Now, we want to get into what that means, but we have to just kind of wait, because the other part of this, Brady, is so we know that guys like Kenyon Giles, Karan Boyd, this would impact to bring it more, to the most local level. Former Shockers. There have been questions of, and now those guys both entered the portal, remember, and there was a reason for that. This was the reason, because there is a question of, well, if you didn't get in the portal, you can't go to a new school. And so for a lot of these guys, it's like they would have to go back to their original school, or they wouldn't have a place to go. So these two guys got in the portal. So in theory, they got in the portal early enough where they would still be able to do this. Now, the problem is, too, the NCAA could, if players are added and this gets overturned, I have heard some people wonder if there is a punishment of up to half a year for a coach suspension because they broke the rule on this new rule. And so, all so crazy and strange. Like, Will Wade only famously has 4 guys on his roster at LSU right now. He's probably in the market for some new players.
I would say so. It's like, Max, do we have any Benny Hill music to play behind us while we're talking about all this?
I mean, it's wild.
It's just, how do you predict? How do
you can't. And so, like, we wondered, like, oh, well, could Boyd or Giles come back to the Shockers? The first part of that equation is, well, do the Shockers even have room? And then the second part is, man, they made a lot of promises to some players coming in. Not that you wouldn't love to see both of those guys back. They were probably the two best players on the team last year. But it's like, man, what are you supposed to do? And I get where these players are coming from, too, because it kind of sucks. Now, in the age of NIL, when there's a lot of... There we go. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
When there's a lot of money on the line, wouldn't you want to come back and get that 5th year, Brady? I mean, we're talking about... So. I don't know what the open market would pay these guys now because teams have spent their budgets. But when you're talking about a guy like Kenyon Giles, who scored like he scored, can shoot like he can shoot. Had he had this at the beginning and could have just gone somewhere or returned to Wichita State even, we might be talking 6 figures for a guy like that. I get it.
It's insane.
I get why the challenge is there. I don't even disagree with it because I do think it's a little unfair to those guys. Now, I also understand you have to start the timer somewhere and all those things. So there was no easy or good way to do this. I'm not saying, they shouldn't have the rule, and I've come around to it, I think, and because I think it will help get us to whether it's fair or unfair, I think it'll get us to a point of being able to stabilize this thing. Man, it's wild stuff, though, to get it there.
There's more stability in fantasy football leagues year in, year out right now than college sports.
This is a separate thing than the Protect College Sports Act, but it really does all kind of run together. Like that, you have to be watching this, and I hope
they would trigger. They could trigger each other. I mean,
I hope that Congress is watching this and understanding the urgency. And look, I get it. Yeah, there are bigger fish to fry. There are always bigger fish to fry, but there's a lot of money. There's a lot of people. Isn't happiness, Brady, an important thing to focus on? Does it always have to be boring stuff? People love college sports. It unites communities. There are cities and towns and communities all across the country that survive basically on the success or non-success of college sports. So don't tell me this doesn't impact people beyond just the athletes and the coaches, stadium workers, the hospitality industry in these towns. Everybody needs college sports to be a popular thing. They need people coming in and wanting to go to games. So we'll watch this. I don't know what it means for Wichita State players or others, but NCAA dealt a blow on that yesterday. And so I don't know what the point that everybody's comfortable to say, all right, we're good. We feel like we understand the rules. Let's sign one of these guys. But the courts so far have been in their favor. KFH hotline, 869-1240. That's where we find Stuart holding. Stuart, welcome into Sports Daily. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Hey, I'm just wondering why you guys have not covered anything that's been going on in the WNBA. ESPN doesn't touch it. And yesterday, you guys didn't touch it with the Sophie Cunningham and the Caitlin Clark stuff. And then what about those 2 guys that are declaring for the draft next year in May of 27? I mean, this is front page news. A lot of places has potential to be bigger than the Sorsby thing, and you guys don't even cover it. I'm just curious.
Stuart, are you? I assume that you have a politically charged opinion about this story.
I mean, kind of, but you guys go into political stuff sometimes, but it's also a sports issue. And you guys don't cover it at all, and I was really surprised.
I would tell you, Stuart, I'm not going to get baited into a political discussion on this show, but that's not even, and if it's relevant to us here, I would have no problem with it. I don't know that I've ever covered much WNBA. I don't watch much of it. We don't have a team in the WNBA. I would say that if it's a story that the cable news headlines can't get enough of, I probably don't have a ton of interest in it. It's interesting, I think, to see where this goes, but I mean, what do you want me to do? All of a sudden give you opinions on the WNBA, which I don't watch and haven't talked about in 10 years on this show because it now has taken a political turn? Like that, I have no interest in that. I love women's basketball. I love it at the college level, the high school level. That's where typically I've consumed it. I haven't watched a lot of WNBA in my life. As far as what they're doing off the court, it's interesting. It's a story for sure. I haven't talked about it because we don't hardly ever talk about the WNBA. We really don't talk a lot of NBA on this show, quite frankly, because we have other things that are more interest to our local viewers. I think this is, I mean, I don't know, Stuart, if you've ever wanted us to talk WNBA when they're not talking about political issues all the time. Have you? Like, have you had a problem with us not talking WNBA when we weren't?
I've had a problem with all the stuff that's going on with Caitlin Clark and how the calls aren't made. And
I do too. Listen, I agree. I think she's bull. I think it's silly. I think it's silly, quite frankly. That's about the extent we've covered it, is how the WNBA is not understanding that they have Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, whatever, Muhammad Ali. There are few athletes that transcend their sports and give those leagues and sports an opportunity to grow to entirely new levels. There really are. Caitlin Clark is one of them. There is no doubt about it. I don't mind talking about that. That's more interesting to me. But when that's not where this conversation has gone now. This has become a political discussion, which is totally fine to have a political discussion. We just don't typically have those on this show unless we're making fun of politicians, which we do enjoy doing from time to time. But I don't think it's my place to jump into that situation where people are so fired up and angry because of their beliefs away from sports to some degree. So we don't typically get into that world here. Not that we don't or we can't. It's just not one. We don't talk a lot of WNBA. That's really all it is. It's not much more than that, to be perfectly honest with you. We don't talk a lot of NBA because we don't have a team here. Whether you think the Thunder are or they aren't, we just it's no different than, when we're just setting a rundown, like what are people typically into here? It's the colleges, it's football, it's college basketball, it's Royals, it's high school to some degree, and that's about it. So there's just not a lot of room for it. But no, we're not taking any stance by not talking about it, Stuart. It's just not really been on the radar for us. I hope that long-winded explanation gives some insight to that. I can tell you that I've never sit here and intentionally avoided that conversation. We just don't talk a lot of WNBA. I'm ignorant to it. I don't even fully know what's happening with it because it's not something that I follow, and I'm not going to follow it just because cable news outlets have talking heads up there trying to get people angry about it all the time, one way or the other. I'm not taking any stance on it, because I think that's unhealthy to society. It's a complicated issue that they need to sort out. We like to have fun on this show. That's not a very fun topic, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Stuart. That makes sense, Brady?
Oh, yeah. And appreciate the call, of course.
I love the call, and I do appreciate the call. And I am truly sincere when I say this. Stuart asking that question is literally the first time I have thought about the topic of the WNBA and men entering the draft and all these things, that it has not even entered the thought process of things that you and I should have discussions about on this show. Again, not that we can't. If there's a huge appetite and audience for it, great. We can talk about it. Now, we're not going to take it a politically charged level, because
it's
never
not that
have.
type of show.
Yeah. But it is it's an interesting thing that's happening. My problem with it is, now that Stuart's brought it up, because again, I haven't thought much about it until then, is now it's become this other thing where cable news, it's like, so it's why it's the problem with social media. It's the problem with everything. It's just now become, politics. And I got no energy for that. Appreciate the call, Stuart. I know Stuart's a great listener. I really do appreciate that, Stuart. All right, we'll come back. We've got to make some polls on the other side, and we'll get to the rest of the sports world. Don't go away on Sports Daily.
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Hey ho, men. You know, I was watching the Dumont last night, and I happened to catch a fascinating documentary on Rummel, the desert fox. Now there's a man who could get things done.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
No logic, no reason, no explanation. Just a prolonged nightmare. And you're invited to partake of it.
Boy, isn't that the truth? A prolonged nightmare. We appreciate you hanging with us through the prolonged nightmare here on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman, that third hour coming your way here in just a minute. Brady finally gets his chance. You know, I open my big mouth. The people have spoken. They want this. They would like we would like to have Brady pull trading cards on the air. If you missed that, was that last week? Brady's been trying to weasel this in for a while, and I'm like, listen, fine. If you can get, what did I say, 5? Like, you can get 5 callers before the end of this show, or listeners or viewers to be supportive of this, we'll do it. We had like 20 in 5 minutes. So I was incorrect about the desire to do this. Now I've kind of gotten on board with it because I just want the trip down memory lane here. So we'll do that in just a second. We've got anything else you want to talk about? We can get back to. We haven't really gotten into the Royals out in L.A. In last night's game. Jack Caglione looking good again, Brady.
Jags
looking good again here. We'll get into all of it here in this final hour. It's What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company. Your summer spot. Pizza and naps, the whole group will love. Seasonal beers, full cocktail menu for the adults, new dirty sodas, and homemade root beer that keeps the kids happy. WB, see you this summer at Wichita Brewing Company. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for getting us through these hours. We are so ready for the start of football season. Thanks to Henry Greenstein for hopping in earlier in the show and talking a little KU with us, our new KU insider. His schedule's a little all over the place with KU camp, but you can always go back and listen to that conversation on the Odyssey app. We'll have Wyatt Thompson in tomorrow. Again, we'll hit the regularly scheduled stuff in a couple of weeks. Right now, we're just kind of sprinkling some of our people in here to help us get prepared. Wyatt Thompson is K-State talks with Colin Klein to the media for the first time during camp today. That's all coming. What's that?
I do have a WNBA headline real quick.
Okay.
I'm sure we missed this because I know this is a big thing that's being talked about. We mentioned Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you saw this, Jacob, but Caitlin Clark does avoid a 1-game suspension after WNBA did rescind that 8th technical foul this season.
What, so did she got a tech or she complained about a tech?
She picked up her 8th technical foul over the weekend, and apparently they have a rule that you get that many, you have to serve a 1-game suspension.
This is what I was to Stuart, who called in the last segment, asked why we're not talking about all the different things happening in the I'm ignorant to it. I'm not watching.
We don't know.
Yeah, like I didn't, I'm not because I don't think it's awesome. I think Caitlin Clark's awesome. I want the WNBA to be wildly successful. I don't have time to watch everything, and that's just not
all right.
For me personally, beating football or college basketball or baseball. I run out of time. I want the league to be amazing. I want whatever. But
and you and I are news guys too. Like we have that on our plates as well. Right. That our attention goes to, and family and kids and all that sort of stuff too. So yeah,
you can call in, ask. You can ask any question you
Feel
want.
free to ask.
869-1240 is that number. You can find us on the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as on 12 News Connected. I appreciate that, everybody. Glad to have you here. All the different ways you listen to us. All right, Brady. Let's do it. Max, here we go.
Cue it up.
Excuse me. Do you have the Carl Yastrzemski baseball card from 1973 when he had big sideburns?
Show me $30. Because if you ain't got it, I ain't getting off the stool.
Sports Daily Pull.
Oh, wonderful.
There it is.
I like it. Okay, I got this crack.
All right, so here's how we Brady has to promise not to look at the other 2 cards. He's going to pull 2 of these. We're going to do this at 10 o'clock. We're going to make this recurring. There's clearly an appetite for it. We're going to do it. 2 cards. Brady, don't look at the other 2. We need video evidence that you are only pulling 2 cards here on this day. He's got a booster pack. I don't know what that means, but let's do it. Here we go. Who are you pulling?
All right, we got a pack of 2025 Donruss Optic. I've already kind of opened a little bit. Let's get some of those maps here.
2025 cards. So we're not pulling a Joe Montana rookie card here.
No.
These are
Okay,
all
here we
going to
go.
be 2025 players then.
Well, they have some throwback cards of
the
former
Donovan
players.
McNabb Redskins card
or that
that
Cole
you
Pepper
mentioned.
Dolphins card.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm trying to be very careful because also you want to be careful when you're opening these. You don't want to mess up a corner or
don't smudge
anything like that. And if I get it graded, then that's going to take it down.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. The anticipation. I've got a little snag here. Okay. I feel 2. Okay, I'm putting the other 2 away. I've not seen the other 2. Saving those for tomorrow. They are away.
All right.
All right,
Poll number 1 is.
Poll number 1 is.
Who do we got?
Leonard Williams. We're the
Leonard?
Seahawks.
Leonard Williams?
Yeah, remember him? Because I don't.
No. I do not. Leonard Williams?
Oh, yeah, Leonard. Yeah, why not say Leonard?
Okay. So who's Leonard Williams?
He's French.
Leonard Williams. Well, yeah, Leonard Williams.
What a poll we got here, Jake.
All right. Now we're cooking.
Card.
Former first-round pick, 6th overall, Leonard Williams. Yes, I do not know much about Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams of your defending champion Seattle Seahawks. Leonard Williams. Okay.
And finally for today, we got a kicker. We got Daniel Carlson of the Raiders.
Daniel Carlson. And this is what you wanted, people.
What a poll.
This is what you wanted. We got a
Leonard Williams, a.k.a. Leonard.
Leonard, 32-year-old defensive tackle. Defending champs. He played all the games. He's a big part of the Seahawks Super Bowl. And is Daniel Carlson's considered one of the top guys, right?
Yeah. Well,
81% on field goals last year, 31st in the NFL. Carlson may be losing his edge here. Is he still?
They write a little thing. I think so. Here on the back says going 100% on field goals is nothing new for Carlson. He did it 12 times in 2024, including a 5-for-5 game at the Rams in Week 7. We all remember that game.
I think
Jacob.
he might be unemployed.
I don't know.
I don't know that he's on a roster right now. He's been with the Raiders. Is he still with the Raiders? The only reason I ever know what kickers are places other than like the Chiefs and the Cowboys kickers and stuff is because when you get to fantasy football and you just look at the list and you're like, okay, I mean, career, he's almost 87%. He's been a really good kicker. Just last year, I'm not sure he was. And now when I look him up, he's just called an American football place kicker. And I don't know. 10th most accurate in NFL history.
Not too bad.
Is he still there?
I'm looking at the Raiders depth chart.
He's not there. I think he's unemployed at the moment. Current.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Matt Gay is the place kicker on the depth chart for the Raiders. So wait, I don't know where Carlson is.
He is available into training camp. Apparently. See, this is now I'm kind of getting on board with this segment because I'm learning about the fate of Daniel Carlson. He is he's I don't think he's got a camp invite yet, but the Packers apparently might be looking for somebody. I mean, look, he's the 10th most accurate kicker in NFL history. Didn't have a great year last year. Daniel Carlson's going to get a job, don't you think? That may be worth something this year. You just hang on to that bad boy. You just hang on to that. What if he sets the record for longest field goal? Is that card at that point worth anything? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, probably not. Probably need to find his rookie card. And I can't tell. It looks like this is probably at a Chiefs game. I'm trying to get in focus for you, Jacob, but I can't tell by his.
Like the Chiefs banner behind him. Well, there you go, Chiefs fans. Brady will sell that card to you for what, Brady? A nickel?
I'll take whatever anybody will give for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Start high. We'll start high and we can negotiate. And on the space, does that look like a make or does it look like a miss?
That looks mid-flight. Can't tell. Hard to say.
You're still tracking it.
So day one, we have a player that doesn't exist, Leonard Williams, and an unemployed NFL kicker. We're off to a great start.
Oh man, I do like that. He's in the old school Seattle Seahawks uniform.
Yeah, that's Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is a good one. Leonard Williams is a good one. He's been he's a good player.
I like those throwbacks.
He's a relevant player, we'll call it. I don't know how he grades out, but he's been around forever. Okay.
There's two more. I didn't see him.
You didn't? We're saving those for tomorrow. Who knows?
Oh,
we could get the Buccaneers' third-string quarterback, and
who knows?
We don't know. We just don't know. There you go, everybody. The people have spoken. You got it. Oh, boy.
Please comment if you like that segment.
Yeah, I think people will like this segment. Any
Daniel Carlson stories? Share them.
I did. That was fun. All right, we'll come back. We'll get some comments, some commentary, and take you through the sports world. Don't go away. It's more Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more
are hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be with you here on Sports Daily. Derek says, strong pull today, boys, holding out for that Mike Glennon insert next. That's about
we
how
can
I
only
felt.
hope.
Listening intently. Is he still back up in Tampa? Is that what that's for? Appreciate that, Derek. That was actually, listen, I don't understand the game, but spending 3 minutes with Daniel Carlson and what he's up to lately, I'm going to actually kind of like that, I think.
Yeah. Who had that on their bingo card?
Listening to Brady call Leonard Williams, like we're going to have some fun with this segment. There's going to be guys where we're like, who is that? Oh yeah. I told you, like if it kind of will turn into, remember that guy? There's a remember that guy, which is a fun game to always play.
Sure.
Oh, you remember that guy? So we had it there. Rick asks on YouTube, said he missed the earlier part of the show. We've not covered this yet. The Chiefs have signed Emmanuel Ogbah, probably needed with defensive line depth. They certainly need defensive line depth. They got some players nicked up. I really think the Chiefs are kind of imitating what we've seen out of Seattle last year, which is just have a lot of guys that can rotate through. What did Seattle famously have? About 7 guys in their defensive line rotation last year, including Leonard Williams or Leonard. So Ogbah's an interesting player. He helped them win a Super Bowl, LIV, right? The first one. He was pretty good when he left and went to Miami out of the gates there. Then he had some injuries. He didn't do much last year in Jacksonville. There were reports that the Chiefs had interest in bringing him back, I want to say in 23 or 24. But look, defensive line depth, and it continues the trend. We know the Chiefs love to do this, of bringing guys back that they're familiar with. He went back-to-back years right when he went to Miami, Brady, of 9 sacks both years. Now, I wouldn't expect the kind of production that we saw earlier in his career by any means. I think he's going to be 33 this season, but rotational piece on a defensive line full of question marks, I don't have a problem with that signing at all. I think that one makes a lot of sense, quite frankly. Not too surprising. And I think if nothing else, it tells us they have some concern about the depth on that defensive line, which is going to be as important as anything we see out of this team this year. Is, can that defensive line create more of a pass rush?
Yeah, Seahawks showed us last year, like you mentioned, that the depth they had, always being able to have those fresh legs, that was huge. And that was a weakness for the Chiefs last year because the offense was, so ineffective, the Chiefs standards, and so many 3 and outs. Boy, the Chiefs defense was out there a long time during some games where they just had to get right back out with the turnover issues too with the Chiefs offense at times. Yeah, that showed last year that tired legs, a tired defense is not a good recipe for success. So the more depth, the more fresh legs you can get out there, that's always a good thing.
It is a good thing. Let's go to the phone lines now. KFH hotline is open at 869-1240. We've got Earl on the line. Hey, Earl. How are you this morning?
Hey, I'm good. Good morning to you guys. Hey, on that segment, I just can't wait till he peels back Balake Bell and then Aaron Donald. And if you got celebrities, Jaqueline Jaqueline Bissett.
These
are going to be high intensity pulls.
This is going to be so fun. Are you a trading card guy, Earl?
Not at all. Not at all.
Were you ever? Were you ever a trading card guy? Like as a kid?
I was not. No,
I wasn't either. I wasn't either.
Because I spent 5 years in Europe as a kid, we would trade comic books. See,
there you
I'm
go.
of that generation. We would trade comic books and not sports cars, so we had that going on. But
Brady's into that too. I don't know if you're watching on the video stream. What is that, Brady?
This is a early Spider-Man appearance, Tales to Astonish 57 I got at a show, and I got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1 at a show. I got you on comics too.
I'd like to know why you had those right at hand for the first mention of comic books to just grab.
Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready, Jacob.
Well,
you never know.
In my theater over there, it wasn't the fantasy stuff. It was more like Sergeant Fury, those sort of comic books that were part of it. But I got to tell you that segment was so compelling. My latex just hardened as I was listening. So I look forward to Balake Bell, and you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Earl.
Great call.
Appreciate that.
Oh, speaking of Mike Glennon, by the way, he's out of the league. I found an article from December 2025. Well, he's a real estate.
Those were 25 cards. Right now, Daniel Carlson's out of the league, so maybe Mike Glennon's just ready to roll. Great stuff. You'll win me over with this, I think, at some point. Chiefs defensive line. Back to that point on Ogba. I want to be excited about it. I can't decide whether the appropriate reaction is excited or concerned, or maybe even greatly concerned. I'm starting to put too much hope in a rookie, in Peter Woods. I haven't heard a lot about any of the other rookies along the defensive line that they've brought in. We'll have to ask. We'll get more on that. And that's where maybe the preseason does give us some hope, right? Something to really look at. We know that, Steve Spagnuolo is not going to show any exotic pass rushes or anything like that. It'll probably be one-on-one, just straight rushes. But for a bunch of rookies, like, that's kind of good stuff to see, isn't it? Like, can those guys win one-on-ones? I mean, we see it in camp. Obviously, we see those little videos. But line up across from the Rams and see if they can get some pressure. Like, I'm telling you, if they can't generate pressure on that defensive line, it's going to be a problem this year. If Steve Spagnuolo pulls that rabbit out of his hat and that secondary is just right where it's always been with that many new faces there, then that dude deserves to go to the Hall of Fame at that point as a defensive coordinator. But
I think he already does.
But I'm a little more concerned than that they're going to need to offset the growing pains of the secondary with an enhanced pass rush. Rick says, and Rick's following this closely, great listener, great Chiefs fan, that R. Mason Thomas is doing well and they love his speed on the edge. That's why they drafted him. I mean, I like the player. I like the pick. Peter Woods has been getting so much attention that we forget they've kind of taken a bunch of guys. And Ashton Gelati's been nicked up, but they have been taking a bunch of guys over the past few years. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, we've talked about him. I mean, it's not like they don't have talent there, or at least perceived talent. So Emmanuel Ogbah comes in, maybe provides a little depth. Chris Jones is getting a little older. I mean, I don't care carry 9 of those guys, run them through there. Let's see what we got. Let Chris Jones be a game wrecker, but catch his breath so that he can be a game wrecker. I think it's a real, that's what I mean. Like, I think I'm excited about it because it feels like there's no chance it's not the best group they've had in a while, but I don't I'm having a hard time. Like, what's the ceiling of that group as far as pass rush specifically?
Yeah, it needs to be a factor for the success. And again, just to get that pressure. We saw that a few years ago, especially when Chris Jones was really getting going. But Yeah, like I said, depth. You can never have too much depth at that spot. We in some positions on offense, you always, especially quarterbacks, are like, if you have two good quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback or something like that. When it comes to the line, offensive or defensive line, you can never have too much depth. Many as possible.
Many is same as the offensive line, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Both sides.
And we know that that's an area of strength the Chiefs are kind of working through. I saw Creed Humphrey. I think PFF graded him as a top center in football. Trey Smith's obviously working through something. We heard Andy Reid in the first hour. The offensive line is this position of strength because of the depth, honestly. And they traded Wanye Morris. They felt good enough about the depth to trade Morris. That was a surprise to me, to be perfectly honest. Like they're missing some guys we're used to seeing there. And now we're just gonna see the Chiefs run out on both lines. Like it's just so strange, Brady, to like think of the Chiefs as a team with strength through the lines, right? Like we're so, and it hasn't even been this way for a while, but we're so locked onto those offenses and the way they operated and all these things. And now it's like, no, they kind of want to line up and run the ball and simplify football again. Right. But, Khalil Benson, you heard Andy Reid talk about him. It sounds like he'll be able to play a couple of different positions. Jalen Moore, did he show enough? They still have Mike Caliendo, who's been a nice depth piece for them for a long time. Somebody else that talked yesterday was Kingsley Suamataia. You're putting a lot of faith there. I don't think anybody's concerned about Simmons, Humphrey, or Smith. Suamataia looked good at left guard, but we also have to remember how bad he looked at left tackle. Now he's embraced left guard, and we know he's talented enough because he was drafted so high, right? He was a good enough athlete. So there really aren't a lot. If they stay healthy, you feel good, I think, about the starting five. And then, Esapole's back. That's three that you probably feel pretty good about as depth pieces, I think. I think they're pretty set there. Can the defensive line do the same thing? I mean, we're talking, you think about the draft capital they've spent in some of these names. Omar Norman Lott, Peter Woods, Ashton Gelati, George Karlaftis, Felix Anudike-Uzama, Tonga's back, right? Emmanuel Ogbah right now slots in as, you're talking about, and they'll run a 4-3, of course, that's 3, that's 6, 7. Ogbah becomes 7. And that's probably what you'd like to rotate through there is 7 guys. No, that's 8. R. Mason Thomas. I didn't list him off. He would become, and Norman Lott's hurt right now, so it's hard for me to include him. And if he got back healthy, that would be 9. Running 9 defensive linemen out there. Okay, I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. I think it's not a bad idea to bring in Ogbah just to challenge and see, because they spent a lot of draft capital on all these guys, but that doesn't mean they're all good, right? I mean, they spent a ton of money on George Karlaftis. I'd sure like George Karlaftis to be a double-digit sack guy for the money they spent on him, right? And he's 6 sacks last year for the contract they gave him. Not going to be good enough. Not going to be good enough. He had 10.5 back in 2023. And that was the concern I had at the time with the contract. Now, they didn't, break the bank with him, but they gave him some money. 6 sacks isn't going to be good enough this year. He's got to be better than that. And why wouldn't he be with all these other guys on the line to take the attention away? Is this a resurgence for George Karlaftis? Is he somebody we haven't talked enough about? If Peter Woods is really good and drawing the attention away from him, how many sacks could Chris Jones have in that scenario? Is this a resurgent year for Chris Jones? Is there enough there to take the pressure off of him? He hasn't had double digits since 23. Of course, his impact on a game is so much more than sacks versus some of these other guys.
True. It gets double teamed and all those sort of things.
And he's obviously, how many big time, run stuffing tackles do we see him seemingly make?
He's
every
a beast. Yeah, still
if it wasn't for Aaron Donald, I mean, we'd be having conversations about him as like one of the best to ever play the position. He just played at the same time as Aaron Donald.
Right. But yeah, the line's the key. I was looking last year at sacks allowed, team stats, sacks allowed, and the Patriots actually allowed the most sacks out of everybody in the league last year. They allowed 69. Then it was the Chargers at 66. Let's see, Las Vegas at 64. The Chiefs not far behind though. They allowed the 11th most sacks in the league last year, allowing 47. So yeah, getting that depth in the trenches, both sides of the ball. That's going to be a big boost for the Chiefs next year as they try to rebound after last year where that was kind of a weakness.
Jones and Kelsey are two older players, and I think how they're used early in the season will be interesting. If there really is this true depth, it's going to be interesting. Both of them. Kelsey could be more effective than he's been in the last couple of years if he's getting more open because of an effective run game. Does that mean you throw him the ball more? Right? Do you want to? Or do you want to preserve him a little bit? Chris Jones is in the same situation. If they really are this deep and can rotate these guys through, it creates more opportunities for Chris Jones to wreck games. Do you want him to early in the season? Do you want him to back off a little bit? Could Chris Jones be a player where maybe instead of on a game-to-game basis where maybe it's a situation, Brady, where you let him play the opening couple of drives and then maybe he catches his breath until the fourth quarter just to preserve his reps and snaps. I don't know that he would like that very much, but seeing how they manage. Now, those are both scenarios with those players if things are going well. If things aren't going well, then they're going to have to play a ton and they're older players and that could hurt the Chiefs late in the year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
As far as team sacks, as far as defensive credited stats as a team, let's see. Broncos were number 1 in the league last year. They racked up as a team, say 68. Is that right? That seems like a ton. But they were that's kind of a mind-blowing number overall. The Chiefs as a team were only able to net 35 sacks as a team for the defense last year. And that was 24th in the league.
Yeah, it's and people kind of track that one a little bit differently, but I mean, you go back. If you go into sort of this Chiefs era, right? Their 35 last year would be the lowest since 2021. The first 2 years of the attempted three-peat, sacks became a big part of that again. They had some of their highest sack totals in 22 and 23, and then it fell off. Then it fell off further. It's got to be a big part of their game, and or I'm afraid of what will happen to the secondary. They've been able to, they've had an elite defense even as their sack totals had waned because their secondary was so good, Brady. Like they could make up for it, right? And we all salivated over, God, what if they could just generate a little more pass rush, right? Then how good could they be? We talk about that all the time. Now it's kind of a necessity because there's a better than 50-50 chance that the secondary takes a step back this year. And if the Chiefs are going to go win another Super Bowl, which should always be the expectation when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, if they're going to go win another Super Bowl, they're going to need to, I think, be good defensively this year. I don't expect them to be as good as they were the last few years. Still need them to be good, though. I mean, you can't line up and run the ball like crazy if you don't have a good defense. That doesn't work in the NFL. Like the Dolphins had a headline yesterday that, they're like, hey, Devon Achane, you get ready to run the ball a ton this year. And I'm like, okay, but you're going to be playing from behind in every game, probably. Like, I'm not sure how that works, but okay. The Chiefs can't be playing from behind like that. They got to be pretty good on that side of the ball. All right, let's come back. Did you stay up late with the Royals last night? We'll talk about what happened in L.A., another bullpen-blown game there. But more importantly, what are the positive things we see? Noah Cameron was on the mound. He'd been so good lately. Is he a piece for the future? Jack Caglione certainly keeping things going. We'll talk about it next on Sports Daily.
If you blew...
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my god, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in here, everybody, to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Brady Bowman with you, and I misspoke. We got to do our AFC North preview here. Sorry, Royals. We hit you off the top of the show if you missed that conversation that we had briefly. It was right off the top of the show. You can go back and listen on the Odyssey app. In the meantime, let's get to the AFC North. It's too fun a division to gloss over. Historically, one of the better divisions in the NFL, Brady, is...
Historically... too. It's has some of the oldest rivalries in the league.
Rivalries, heated rivalries. Wasn't particularly good last year, though. It was a little more topsy-turvy than it normally is, with the Steelers on top and Aaron Rodgers. They ended up winning it, going 10-7. Pretty nice feat for them, honestly, but not nice enough for Mike Tomlin to keep his job. But we get the reunion of McCarthy and Rodgers. You get the Ravens, who are one of the odds-on favorite to win the AFC. You get the Bengals, who should be back healthy with what's always usually a pretty good offense and one of this thing, and just see if they can outscore everybody. I was a little surprised Zach Taylor is still there. Were you? He's been.
Not really. I mean, I think they're still freshening up off that run and that Super Bowl appearance that he still gets a little bit of.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing. This year, I feel like if it goes bad, even by mid season, that hot seat is flaming hot for Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
this is a big year for him.
I want to be high on them again. I do, and I'm not going to pick them third. So that's where this gets interesting for me. The Ravens and these odds are a bit confusing. Like, I know they have Lamar Jackson and they brought in a new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, but I think they're getting a little overhyped. I'll be honest. I think it's interesting to lose, and we've seen this with the Steelers too. You've had coaches there for eternity. Now we just expect. We kind of know, we at least know a little more about McCarthy, but what's Minter going to be as a head coach?
Because he knew what you had with Tomlin. He was making the playoffs every single year. 10 wins at least every single year.
Like, it was one of the things you've been able to count on in football for the last 20 years was that the Ravens and the Steelers were going to, be in the playoffs. It felt like. So I'm a little, Derrick Henry's a little older, although I still think he's very good. I think Lamar Jackson's great. They just gave Zay Flowers a bunch of money, but they haven't done anything else to add weapons for Lamar Jackson in the past game. Nothing. Like, they've literally done nothing else, it feels like. I think people are a little too high on them. Now, I do think they can win some games, be better than they were a year ago. I do think I will put them ahead of Pittsburgh, who I think will come back a little bit. I think they're going to lose something defensively. I think they're going to miss Mike Tomlin. I have no idea if McCarthy and Rodgers can get along. They didn't, famously, when they broke up the last time. So I think this will be one of my bolder takes. And again, I am fully somewhere. Tommy Castor, our pal, is rolling his eyes at me right now. I'm always too high on the Bengals, but in maybe the biggest surprise of our picks so far, let's see if the Bengals can do it. Let's see if they can just take advantage of what should be one of the league's most high-octane offenses and ride that through. And it's not so much about them, Brady, for me, as it is that I just kind of feel like the other two teams that are always there ahead of them are kind of where they were last year. I'm not as high on the Ravens as the masses are, clearly, based on the Super Bowl odds right now. So I'll go Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. That's where I'm going with the division.
Okay. You know what? I hear and understand you on your thoughts on the Bengals, but Burrow's, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Just 8 games last year. I mean, that's becoming like a concern every single year now with him. I think Cleveland's just kind of interesting with Shador and everything going on there. Who else do they got on the depth chart? They got Judkins. He's decent.
Yeah, but
running back
he's coming off
year.
of a really serious injury too.
Jerry Judy's basically their number one wide receiver. They don't have who's the tight end they had last year? What?
Oh, Njoku, he's with the Chargers now.
Yeah, he's somewhere else, and he was a big target too for them.
He was.
So
they've got a lot of young players. I think by the end of the year they could be moderately exciting. It's all about Shador, but they finally they're just kind of rebuilding. It wasn't going to work. No more Stefanski. They're
that's
rebuilding.
big too. That's big too. And as far as the Steelers, with Mike McCarthy and Rodgers, I like you just said, that didn't end well between those two. I think they are going to miss Tomlin. I don't think even though Aaron Rodgers was a little bit better last year than he was previous 2 seasons, there were times where it's just like you could tell the age is there. He doesn't have the legs and the movement that he used to have in his prime. I think the arm strength's still there for the most part, and the accuracy is still there for the most part.
And they did bring in Michael Pittman, and honestly, they probably did the most to get better on paper.
Out of all the teams, I'd agree with that. Yeah, out of all the teams in the division,
and the Ravens probably feel like they did defensively, and they might have, but the Steelers, they bring in Pittman. They brought in Rico Dowdle, right? I believe. So they're trying to get a little more talented, and that'll be fine. It's really more of just like, man, Rodgers he's getting up there. Can he stay healthy? You mentioned a Burrow health problem. They could absolutely win. I think any of the Ravens, the Bengals, or the Steelers could win this division. Now, I've just pulled up the odds. Yeah, the Ravens have stuck. They're still holding strong at 10-1 is the second odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They are the odds-on favorite to win the division at -112. But if you go down and you look, the Bengals are at +184. They're not even 2-1 right now. And the Steelers are, then you take a huge jump at 5-1 with the Steelers. I actually kind of like that bet. Like I don't make these futures bets. They take too long. I'm too impatient. But if 5-1 on the Steelers to win the division again, I don't hate that bet.
And DK Metcalf's still there. I mean, he's still a home run hitter. Jalen Warren, that's good 1-2 punch with Jalen Warren and Rico
Dowdle.
Dowdle.
I think so too. I think they've got some dudes. It's really about, can Rodgers do it at his age? We'll find out.
That's the question, how it works with him and McCarthy. And plus, I think Rodgers, clearly, as we've already seen in the past few weeks, Rodgers is still not stepping away from being a lightning rod type of character and a distraction in that way. No. And I don't see that slowing down.
My biggest problem with Pittsburgh is they don't have Mike Tomlin.
Right.
So that I don't know what, like, the defense, the ability to always be in and win close games. I watched McCarthy. I've never been that impressed with McCarthy. I think he's a great offensive mind. But
clock management, that's the thing with McCarthy. Clock management.
I'm a Cowboys fan. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. I mean, it is like, so Tomlin, who found ways to win all the close ones, that ain't McCarthy.
With Mason Rudolph. He went to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph.
I know. That's my thing with this. That's what I can't, like. McCarthy was a fine hire for them. I actually kind of like the hire, but he ain't Mike Tomlin, in my opinion. So that hurts me. Now, and again, what is Todd Monken going to do with the Ravens? I don't know. So that's where Cincinnati, even though I think I'm with you, Zach Taylor may be on the hottest seat in the NFL. If you can just tell me that Burrow stays healthy, I still like the Bengals quite a bit. I don't know if they can get, they're not going to be worse probably defensively than they were a year ago. I don't think they'll be worse. I don't know. Like, they haven't done things like the Cowboys have done to get better either.
No.
And plus they lost Trey Hendrickson. So I'm like, I don't think they're going to like be in the running as a middle tier defense, but they just they're not going to get worse. So can Joe Burrow come in and they just be the league's best offense? 100% they could do that.
Yeah, I think they were the third worst defense last season as far as points allowed for the Bengals. Here's my order, Jacob. I'm going to go. Okay. I'm going to stick with the Ravens.
Okay.
Well, here's a caveat. If Burrow stays healthy the whole season, I'm going Cincy.
You're with me on that. Okay.
But I'm going to hedge, and I'm going to go with Ravens 1, Cincy 2, Steelers 3rd, and Browns just. I think Browns are still dealing. I don't think they're going to get much better and get to that next level until they get past this Deshaun Watson stuff.
I think there is a pretty good chance Browns fans are excited about their future after this year.
Yeah. I think they'll be better this year, but I still think they'll be last.
They'll have more to be excited about.
Right.
Whether that's and that's even if Shedeur, because if their quarterbacks struggle and they end up with a high draft pick and they can turn the page at quarterback and do all those things. But I thought their draft was pretty good. They're going to be in a position to acquire some talent. It would be depressing to be a Browns fan right now. So either Shedeur is good and that gives you hope, or you're starting the next chapter with a new quarterback. And you'll be excited about that too. I want Shedeur to be good. I thought he was such a fun player to watch in college. It's hard to imagine handling things more poorly than he did coming into the league. But that stuff's hopefully behind him, and now he can just play football. That does it. There we are. Bengals, look, it's not outrageous. They're the second odds-on favorite to win the division at less than 2-1. So we're not stepping out off a cliff by saying that.
No.
I just don't have as much confidence in the Ravens as Joe Public, because I think they didn't really change or add anything offensively, and they lose John Harbaugh. And the same thing for the Steelers. Now, the Steelers added, but they lose Mike Tomlin. It's hard for me to predict that. Like, how do you account for two of the most successful coaches in this league change it? Be like if Andy Reid left.
Well, and both of them being in division, coaching the Steelers and Ravens for decades. They've always been there. I mean, that's what always made those games pretty special too, is always Harbaugh versus Tomlin. I mean, it's weird that we're going to have games without those guys on the sidelines for those teams.
Things always change. All right.
The only thing that stays the same.
Thanks, everybody. Great listener interaction today. Appreciate everybody on the comments. Appreciate the calls we had today. Appreciate everybody for just being a part of the show. Good stuff for Brady's first Sports Daily pull. We'll continue that tomorrow. There they are. A kicker, an out-of-work kicker, and some mystery guy named Leonard Williams that we've never heard
that's
of.
what his friends call him.
If you don't know that reference we're making, go back and listen to that segment for free on the Odyssey app. It will make more sense. Thanks for being here, everybody, with us today. Thanks to Max for getting things ready and keeping the ship on track all day long. Appreciate it, everybody. For Brady, I'm Jacob, and Max. Wyatt Thompson tomorrow checks in from K-State camp. Don't miss it. We'll see you then.
When the Big 12...